Hello everyone, my name is Wayra Giraldo. In this opportunity, I'm going to read you a fairy tale called Any Rokatansky and the Four Long-Necked Horses. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl called Any Rokatansky. She was on the way to see her Auntie Jones. When she decided to take a shortcut through Idle's woods, it wasn't long before Annie got lost. She looked around, but all she could see were trees. Nervously, she fell into her bag for her favorite toy, Bunny, but Bunny was nowhere to be found. Annie began to panic. She felt sure she had packed Bunny. To make matters worse, she was starting to feel hungry. Unexpectedly, she saw a long-necked horse dressed in a pink jacket disappearing into the trees. How odd, thought Annie. For the want of anything better to do, she decided to follow the peculiarly dressed horse. Perhaps it could tell her the way out of the forest. Eventually, Annie reached a clearing. She found herself surrounded by houses made from different sorts of food. There was a house made from pumpkins, a house made from pancakes, a house made from sweets, a house made from ribs, and a house made from chips. Annie could feel her tummy rumbling. Looking at the houses didn't nothing to ease her hunger. "Hello," she called. "Is anybody there?" Nobody replied. Annie looked at the roof on the closest house and wondered if it would be rude to eat somebody else's chimney. Obviously, it would be impolite to eat a whole house, but perhaps it would be considered acceptable to nibble the odd fixture or lick the odd fitting in a time of need. A cackle broke throughout the earth, giving Annie a fright. A witch jumped into the space in front of the houses. She was carrying a cage. In that cage was Bunny. "Bunny!" shouted Annie. She turned to the witch. "That's my toy!" The witch just shrugged. "Give Bunny back!" cried Annie. "Not on your kneely," said the witch. "At least let Bunny out of that cage." Before she could reply, four long-necked horses rushed in from a path on the other side of the clearing. Annie recognized the one in the pink jacket that she'd seen earlier. The witch seemed to recognize him too. "Hello, big horse," said the witch. "Good morning," said the horse. The horse nodded Bunny. "Who's this?" "That's Bunny," explained the witch. "Oh, Bunny would look lovely on my house." "Give it to me," demanded the horse. The witch shook her head. "Bunny's staying with me." Excuse me," Annie interrupted. "Bunny lives with me, and not in a cage." Big Horse ignored her. Is there nothing you'll trade?" he asked the witch. The witch shrugged for a moment, then said, "I'd like to be entertained. I'll release him to anybody who can eat a whole front door." Big Horse looked at the horse of the house made from chips and said, "No problem. I could eat an entire house made from chips if I wanted to." "That's nothing," said the next horse. "I could eat two houses." "There's no need to show off," said the witch. "Just eat one front door, and I'll let you have Bunny." Annie watched, feeling very worried. She didn't want the witch to give Bunny to Big Horse. She didn't think Bunny would like living with a long-necked horse, away from her house and all her other toys. The other three horses watched while Big Horse put on his bib and withdrew a knife and fork from his pocket. "I'll eat this whole house," said Big Horse. "Just you watch." Big Horse pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from pancakes. He gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more. Eventually, Big Horse started to get bigger, just a little bit bigger at first, but after a few more forkfuls of pancakes, he grew to the size of a large snowball, and he was every bit around. "I don't feel good," said Big Horse. Suddenly, he started to roll. He had grown so round that he couldn't no longer balance. "Help!" he cried, as he rolled down a slope into the forest. Big Horse never finished eating the front door made from pancakes, and Bunny remained trapped in the witch cage. Average Horse stood up and approached the house made from sweets. "I'll eat this whole house," said Average Horse. "Just you watch." Average Horse pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from sweets. She gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After a while, Average Horse started to look a little queasy. She grew greener and greener and greener. A woodcutter walked into the clearing. "What's this bush doing here?" he asked. "I'm not a bush, I'm a horse," said Average. "It talks?" exclaimed the woodcutter. "Those talking bushes are the worst kind. I'd better take it away before somebody gets hurt." "No, wait!" cried Average, as the woodcutter picked her up, but the woodcutter ignored her cries and carried the horse away under his arm. Average Horse never finished eating the front door made from sweets, and Bunny remained trapped in the witch cage. Little Horse stepped up and approached the house made from crisps. "I'll eat this whole house," said Little Horse. "Just you watch." Little Horse pulled off a corner of the front door in the house made from crisps. They gulped it out down, smiling, and went back for more and more and more. After 5 or 6 platefuls, like Little Horses started to fidget uncomfortably on the spot. He stopped eating crisps for a moment, then grabbed another forkful. But before he could eat it, there came an almighty roar. A bottom bark, louder than a rocket taking off, propelled Little Horse into the sky. "Oh!" cried Little Horse. "I'm scared of height." Little Horse was never seen again. Little Horse never finished eating the front door made from crisps, and Bunny remained trapped in the witch cave. Tiny Horse stepped up and approached the house made from chips. "I'll eat this whole house," said Tiny Horse. "Just you watch." Tiny Horse pulled off a corner of the front door of the house made from chips. She gulped it down, smiling, and went back for more and more. However, on the next mouthful, the food fell straight out of Tiny Horse's mouth. She tried to stuff in another forkful of chips, but once again the food fell out. There wasn't enough room left in her belly. This is just not fair," declared Tiny Horse, and stomped off into the forest. Tiny Horse never finished eating the front door made from chips, and Bunny remained trapped in the witch cage. "That's it," said the witch. I get to keep Bunny." "Not so fast," said Annie. "There's still one front door to go, the front door of the houses made from pumpkins, and I haven't had a turn yet." "I don't have to give you a turn," laughed the witch. "My game, my rules." The woodcutter voice carried throughout the forest. I think you should give her a chance. It's only fair." "Fine," said the witch. "But you saw what happened to the horses. She won't last long." "I'll be right back," said Annie. "What?" said the witch. "Where's your sense of impatience through talk you wanted Bunny back?" Annie ignored her and the witch and gathered a heavy pile of sticks. She came back to the clearing and started a small campfire. Carefully she broke off a piece of a door of the house made from pumpkins and toasted it over the fire. Once it had cooked and cooled just a little, she took a bite. She quickly devoured the whole piece. Annie sat down on a nearby log. "You fool!" crackled the witch. "You were supposed to eat the whole door." I haven't finished, explained Annie. I'm just waiting for my food to go down. When Annie's food had digested, she broke off another piece of dough made from pumpkins. Once more, she tossed her food over the fire and waited for it to cool just a little. She ate it leisurely, then waited for it to digest. Eventually, after several sittings, Annie was down to the final piece of the dough made from pumpkins. Carefully, she toasted it and allowed it to cool just a little. She finished her final course, and Annie had eaten the entire front door of the house made from pumpkins. The witch stamped her foot angrily. You must have tricked me, she said. I don't reward cheating. I don't think so, said a voice. It was the woodcutter. He walked back into the clearing carrying his eggs. This little girl won fair and square. Now hand over Bunny, or I will chop your broomstick in half. The witch looked horrified. She grabbed her broomstick and placed it behind her. Then, huffing, she opened the door of the cage. Annie hurried to grab Bunny, checking that her favorite toy was all right. Fortunately, Bunny was unharmed. Annie thanked the woodcutter, grabbed a kicked souvenir, and hurried on to meet Andy. It was starting to get dark. When Annie got to Andy's house, he threw his arm around her. I was too worried, cried Andy. You are very late. As Annie described her day, she could tell that Andy didn't believe her, so she grabbed a napkin from her pocket. What's that? Asked Andy. Annie unwrapped a doorknob made from pancakes. Put in, she said. Andy almost fell off his chair. The end.